without wasting time, we're going straight to the first thing when learning a language, the alphabet of the language. Here, Germans have, they are cousins of the English, and they have other cousins also in Europe. But they are also related way back thousands of kilometers to some people somewhere, which I would like to show you later. And that's the reason why we are trying to learn the German. The English have made their way all over the world. Germans haven't. And many people wished they learned German too as a second language or a third one. So I'm offering this free of charge, everybody. Get your families glued to your YouTube, get it downloaded, and be learning it over and over before I come with a second lesson. So let's stay glued and let's learn together. When I pronounce it, you pronounce it alongside. And also, this is how Germans go about the pronunciation of their A, B, C. So we start with this. Here would have been A, B, C, D. But they say A. Say A. A. B. C. D. Let me get a pointer. So here we go. A. B. C. C. D. E. F. G. H. E. J. K. L. M. N. O. P. Q. R. S. T. U. V. V. X. Y. Z. Now let's go straight away once again, a bit quickly. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, E, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now, strange thing that I would like to introduce to you is V. V is pronounced F. So wherever you're reading German, a German text, and you come across V, don't pronounce it V, pronounce it F. And when you see W, rather pronounce it V. X remain X as in English. Y remain Y also. And then Z remains Z. Which else? The rest remain as they are. But J remains Y. You don't pronounce J, J. You pronounce it Y. Yacht. So when you see Johannes, Johannes, the word John spelled in German, you don't say Johannes, say Johannes. Johannes. Johannes somehow. Make it Johannes. K remains K. L remains M. L. M N O P Q R S T U. V changes to F, W changes to V, and X remains X. Y remains Y, and Z remains Z. Apart from the normal alphabets, in English we also have the A, E, I, O, U, which stands for the vowels. In German, it's A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. And then in addition to the A, E, I, O, U, they still have the A with two dots. The two dots are called umlauts. Umlauts. So when you see the two dots and a teacher asks you or somebody else you are teaching, you might get to understand German so much that you will be compelled, or you will be able to teach your school or your family or whoever you want to teach, because the way I'm going to teach you will enable you also to teach others. This, on top of any vowel, is it's called umlaut, and they are pronounced differently. A, O, U, and then this represents double S. When you are writing a German text and there should be a double S somewhere, this is how to write it. It represents double S. So this A is pronounced as in. And then O, you widen your whistling lips a little bit to pronounce this O. The whistling hole is a bit smaller. But pronouncing O, you widen the whistling hole a little bit to pronounce O. So when you see O with the umlaut, pronounce it O. So goes with the U. I believe you can do it yourself. If it is U with umlaut, how would you pronounce it? Correct. U. Beautiful. And then the S remains S. In your reading, when you are reading a textbook, a German textbook, and you come across AU, it is not pronounced ow. So when you see a car called AUDI, it's Audi. Audi. Don't say O. We normally say Audi in English, but we say Audi in German. Audi. EI is pronounced as we use in English height. EI is I, not A. So just as we use the EI in English, same do we use EI as I in every German word. So when you come across any German word that contains EI, pronounce it I instead of A. And remember that even in English, we have this EI in height, and we pronounce it I. So remember that EI is I, always in German. Now, this A has the long version of it. Like here. Like in English, And then we have the long And we have the short like this. And we have the in the Akan, or the Akan, the Friday born, and among the Akan people of West Africa, the Friday born are called Efria. So the word U is mentioned here. Efria. So the Akans and most West Africans speak languages similar to the Western Europeans, which we will come to later. There is a historical link that has not been explained, but we know them. We know the history. So we will continue. With time, I'll delve into it. If you are very much interested, let me know so that I will go straight to create a channel for that so that we discuss it. So you know your roots. You will see your brother right here in West Africa who looks exactly like you or with a similar DNA. Come on. We have a long history to tell. It's beautiful, isn't it? So that is it. So let's go through the ABC once again before we turn to the next page. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Epsilon. Z. Beautiful. So the next, I'll allow you to look through to try to pronounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in German in your own way. I've written how 1, 2, 3 are pronounced the way you have to pronounce it and how it is actually spelled in German. So this is how we English-speaking people and all languages around the people will be able to know how to spell or pronounce 1 in German. This is how to pronounce, that's how I've written pronounced and then spelled or spelling. So the actual spelling is this and the actual pronunciation is this to enable you to pronounce this. Because if I leave you to pronounce, if I write this straight away for you to learn to pronounce, you'll find it difficult because you will be forced to say eins and you'll be forced to say zwei, which is totally wrong, out of the way. So this is how to go about it. So let's go. When I say it, you say it after me so that you keep it, your head, your brains will store it automatically. And then you download it and then be rehearsing, to be learning together with the family, because within a short time, if you follow my channel, you really will speak German in 3 months, I'm telling you. You speak, read, and write German very easily. I've taught a lot of people and they've traveled all over the world. And they encouraged me to keep teaching them. And they are far away, so they asked me to come online and teach. But this time, it's going to benefit everybody in the world. So please, get glued to it. Subscribe to keep me going. That is, I don't want to talk about subscription. Just do it on your own. Let's go. 1. Here we say eins. Eins. Zwei. Zwei. T-S-V, you pronounce it. Zwei. The 3 is drei. 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 4 is vier. This is the actual spelling, but this is how it is pronounced. Because I told you F is V is F. So when you see this, it's vier. But you can't learn it straight away with this unless you know how to pronounce them. So let's start again. Say it after me. Eins. Zwei. Drei. Vier. Fünf. Sechs. Sieben. Acht. Neun. 10. Let's go once again. Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben, acht, neun, 10. So this is how it is pronounced here. This is how they are spelled here. Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben, acht, neun, 10. So, as we learned earlier, EI is not A, it's I, like in height. So when you come across EI in German, pronounce it I. When you come across Z, pronounce it TS. And V, W, pronounce it V. And then the EI flows. So zwei, 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 zwei. Don't say zwei, it's wrong totally. Zwei. So when you see 1, 2, 3, just eins, zwei, drei, be fluent. Let it surprise your friends, the Germans. Come on. Let's go. This is vier, as I said. V is pronounced F. So learn to know that. Then the fünf, the only thing that changes is the umlaut. Fünf, fünf, fünf. Sechs, sieben, the 7, sieben. So the S is pronounced Z. Don't say sieben. Don't say sieben. Say sieben. Six, you say sechs. The 6, you don't say 6. You say sechs. Sechs. When you see this, you might say sech, which is wrong. So sechs, this is how it is pronounced actually in German. Sechs. Sieben. Acht. Acht. It's pronounced acht. Don't say acht. 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 Neun. This is how it is pronounced. This is how it is spelled. Neon. It is neun. EU, I told you, is oi. Whenever you come across EU, is oi. Neun. And then 10. The Z-E-H-N is 10. Let's go to 11. I believe you can pronounce it yourself. Let's go. Try it. I'll just touch it and you pronounce it. I don't hear you, but I hear very far into my brain. Hey, scientists, those of the human beings on earth who have hair on their ears, we hear from afar. So I can hear what my teachers, my students are saying. So mention this. This is what? And this is what? That is also what? And this is what? Come on, well done. And that is what? And that? Ha! Well done. I didn't hear, but I've heard. They are in my brain. I hear millions of people. Hey, well done. I'll clap for you. Well done. Now let me mention them. When you are right, you clap for yourself. I'll also clap for you. This is elf, and I believe you said elf. 11 is elf. I've spelled it as they are pronounced. I didn't add the actual spelling, but the pronunciation. Because the rest come with this dry and then teen, the teen. Only 11 and 12 do change. Elf. 12. I suppose you did well. I mean, clap yourself for yourself once more because how could somebody just be so creative? Well done, well done. Let's go. Elf. 12. Dry teen. So here we just choose the dry and then we add the teen. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Simple. You've done really well because I didn't expect you to be able to create it yourself like that. Let's go over again before we continue with the 21. Elf, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's continue with the 21. It's interesting. We are getting to 100. And then from here, we are going further to other things. In German, we don't say 21. We don't mention the 20 before we mention the 1. We mention the 1 before we add the 20. So we go from the behind to add the 20. So how would you say it? Ein und 1 and 20, that's how they say it. 21. 21. So say it after me. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28, 29, and this comes as 30, 3, 30. So you remember this is double S. 30. This time I will explain to you why this is sh and not g. 30. Some people do pronounce it. You have variation of German-speaking people within Germany and around Germany. Everybody has his way of pronouncing. But wherever you get to, and you pronounce Dreißig in Germany, everybody understands it. It is Dreißig, is 30 you're talking about. Maybe the village you found yourself in says Dreißig, like this. Dreißig is also nice. Whichever way, once you know the actual one, or you know some form of German, wherever you get to, you adjust to the situation there. I learned my German language in Hamburg, but I lived in Eastern Germany, Guben, Forst, Cottbus, Eisenhüttenstadt. Eisenhüttenstadt is where they first taught me to speak German. And then later I entered schooling in Hamburg and then learned German on my own. I learned all these things on my own. So you can learn it here and then teach other people. That's why I'm very sure of what I'm doing. Okay, so let's continue with this 21, 22, and then we go to 100. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now from 30, just as we started with 21, 31 will also be what? Tell me, come on. Well done. You just add 1 to 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, like that. So I didn't have to write all to 100. So I just mentioned the names of the rest. 40 is 40. Please, let's try to pronounce these ourselves before I mention them to you. Tell me. Mention it. Well done. Well done. That's great. I tell you, you've done really well. Let's continue and let's see if you did the correct thing. 40. 40. 5. I told you this has umlaut. 50. 50. 60. 60. 70. 70, 80, 6. This is TS, 6. 80, 90, 100. So let's go once again. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Well done. I mean, I love the whole thing. Well, really, really, really well done. Come on. Now, take your time to look onto the board. Now you could see days of the week and also months of the year. German made easy from Sir Logic. Okay, so let's learn to pronounce them. Days of the week. This is in English: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. In German we say Sonntag, Montag, Dienstag, Mittwoch, that's midweek, middle of the week, Mittwoch, Donnerstag, Freitag, Samstag. Now you are a bit acquainted with the pronunciation of S and certain words. So S is pronounced Z, you should bear that in mind. So let's go once again. This is Z, so how would it be pronounced? Sonntag. There are situations where the G must be pronounced K, Sonntag. When you meet the elderly, you will hear Sonntag, Montag. So wherever you find yourself, just bear in mind that you are pronouncing Sonntag. But where you find yourself, the people there speak a bit differently. Just try to adjust. So you might find yourself in a situation where you have to pronounce this Sonntag, K, Montag. But for now, let's learn it this way. Sonntag, like G. Sonntag, Montag, Dienstag, Mittwoch, Donnerstag, Freitag, Samstag. That is the days of the week. Now let's go for the months of the year. Now we have in English January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. In German, we don't say January, they are cousins, so they are related and speak languages similarly. So they don't say January, but they say Januar, Januar, Februar. So say it after me, Januar, Februar, März, like here, März, März, März. You remember this A with umlaut is pronounced E. So here will be E, like this. März, April, like April, April. May is pronounced May, or the Mai, May. Juni, June is Juni, like here. J is pronounced Y, Juni. And then July is pronounced the same Y, Juli. So Juni and then Juli. August, we don't say August. August. They pronounce their words mostly according to the spelling, not according to the polishing. Like in English, we've polished so many words. But some countries still insist on pronunciation of spelling, especially Nigeria. Nigeria will not say August. You say August, I suppose. August. In English, we say August. And German will say August. August. Nigeria will say August. German will say August. And the English will say August. All right. So wherever you find yourself, speak the way they speak. That is it. But this is German we are learning, so let's spell it, let's pronounce them the way Germans do. August, September. This September is not pronounced S, it's pronounced Z. So September, September. October is still October, just that K, C changes to K. November remains November, and December is also December. You remember Z is pronounced T-S. December, December. So let's master it. Januar, say it after me. Januar. Februar. März. April, Mai, Juni, Juli, August, September, October, November, December. Now I made a mistake here, I pronounced it English, it's September, not September, 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 September. So it's not September as in English, but wherever you pronounce it, everybody will know you're talking about September. Just that we want to be specific when speaking somebody's language. We want to sound close to sounding like them. So September, of course. So let's go once again over. Januar, Februar, März, April, Mai, Juni, Juli, August, September, October, November, December. Thank you very much indeed. You are really making progress. Now look onto the board. In my absence, I've just stood a bit away from the board. I want you to, learn it on your own. Download this always, follow my channel all the time, and subscribe to keep me going. All right. That is it. So we are going to the next.